Here's my other impression of Richard. Are you awake? Are you awake? Are you awake? Did I wake you up?
Because we share a bed. That's the reason. Anyway.
Welcome, friends and fans, to another episode of GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. And today we are going back to the planet Urk with two incredibly talented cast members of Invader Zim. So without further ado, let's bring them out. Our first guest is a voice actor, writer, and artist whose body of work includes Mighty Magisaurs, The Trinket, The Sad Circus by the Sea, and At Tabby Cat. Today joins us as the voice of Grr. Please welcome back our friend Rikki Simons.
Yay! Hi.
Hey, Rikki, how you been?
I'm okay. I'm sitting here with my giant cat, who will probably invade this screen at any second if I don't keep an eye on him. I know where he is.
Welcome to. We absolutely we welcome. We love the opportunity to meet our guests' pets.
Yeah, I just hope. Well, I think he's finally settled. He got really interested in the things I have around this computer for a while, and including the mouse cursor. So,
as a cat owner myself, and yeah, with various little geek trinkets and stuff like that, like you've got behind you. Cats love knocking them off, don't they?
Yeah, well, usually I have the glass up. There's a glass door on these that usually I slam down so he can't get to them. If I'm not careful, he will go for all my chickens, my chicken run chickens.
Oh no, we absolutely don't want that.
Yeah.
Especially since those are hard to come by now.
Yeah, you can't find chicken run chickens.
No, definitely not. But you could always find a good piece of cheese, couldn't you, Gromit?
I think you could. If I was Gromit, I wouldn't say anything.
Yeah,
Gromit is the best character ever, but he's also a voice actor's nightmare.
You are not wrong. You're not wrong. But we're going to talk about voice acting. Let's bring out our next guest. He is an actor whose body of work includes the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. He can recently be seen on the web series Some Kind of Joke. Please welcome back the voice of Zim himself, Richard Horvitz.
Yeah, I'm scared. Is this okay?
And this is what you've been doing with yourself the past few weeks?
Oh, hi.
Richard, how are you, my friend?
Wonderful, Patty. How are you this fine Saturday afternoon?
Saturday afternoon. I am well over on our side of the world. How are things at Hell of a Boss?
Hell of a Boss is going splendidly with new episodes coming out all the time. And I've been fortunate enough to not only get to be Moxie in the show, I also am voice directing the series. So I get to be on both sides this time, which I love. Which is always hard. It's hard for a voiceover actor because you feel like you're part of the family, but you're really not. You kind of come in, you do your job, and you leave. Whereas Rikki was part of the whole Invader Zim family on both sides of the mic. I was always envious of that because, you know,
now you are.
Now I am. Now I'm part of both sides of that. So you get emotionally attached to the shows, and sometimes it's sad to just go in, record, and leave.
You sold out, Richard. You're with the man now.
I'm with the man now.
Well, so I'm glad the series is going well. Like I said, I've been able to catch a few bits of it, and it's really just an absolute blast. And for people who don't know, it's Hell of a Boss. It's available on YouTube, correct?
That's right, by Vivzy Pop. Vivian Medrano. It's her creation, and she's brilliant. She's, I've been very fortunate to work with some of the most amazing creators, between Mitch Schauer from Angry Beavers and Maxwell Adams from Billy and Mandy, and of course Jonan Vasquez from Invader Zim, Tim Schafer, Psychonauts, just really brilliant minds. Really brilliant minds.
Absolutely. You both have you definitely gravitate towards I guess for lack of a better term, sort of the auteur side of modern animation for it's really much a lot of the hard the projects that are lucky enough that the creator and the visionary has more control than what is nominally given to other animated projects, and I think it shows, especially certainly the case of Zim and these other ones.
I know I wouldn't turn down any non-auteur work, but that is what I strive for. I want to work with people with vision.
I have my friend Dean Cameron, who does some kind of jokes with me. We jokingly say that we've been fortunate that our careers have all been like cult classics. And he looked at me one day and he goes, "You realize that cult classic just means commercially unsuccessful?"
Hey, as we spoke a month ago, I mean, if they put out summer school stuff, I would have bought it.
But they are commercially successful over time. May not be over a summer, but maybe over 30 years.
Maybe over 30 years. If you live long enough, I'm going to buy Rikki a new van.
Yeah, in 30 years. You better paint some like fantasy art on it for me, though.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's where you audition for your first voiceover agency, in the back of the van.
Yeah, yes. I did. I used to be I used to interview bands in my early 20s, and I did interview a band in the back of a van once.
Van on the run.
Yeah, I won't go any more into that.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
I miss the days of local independent newspapers and about the local music scene and that stuff. That was
the band was called Ethel Meat Plow.
Yeah, and I miss the days when you would be able to go to see a band with like Ethel Meat Plow and Boogalard and Dry Entry and just all these things. No, that was a real LA band.
No,
absolutely. Richard, you touched on an interesting subject about yes, Zim certainly is a cult thing, and again, and it's weird too. That term was kind of used disparagingly at first, and it has morphed over the years, and then now it's something that, oh, that's awesome. It's a big cult hit. It's a good thing. Yeah. What's and the proof of that usually comes around with when the merchandising comes afterwards. When all of a sudden it's like years later, all of a sudden when Hot Topic picked stuff up and everything else. So when did you guys first get word that, oh yeah, they're going to produce some merchandising for Invader Zim? And it was like, now? It's like, what was that? What was your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction was, Hot Topic loves Gurr, because there was not a lot of Zim. In the beginning, there was a lot of Zim, but then Hot Topic, it was like all Gurr all the time. It was you saw less and less of Zim and of all the other characters. So my feeling was to hell with Rikki.
Right. Yeah. I was way ahead of you on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
To hell with Rikki.
That started in my early teens. To hell with Rikki.
Yeah.
It did get pretty ridiculous, the amount of Gurr products. Like there was Gurr perfume, candles, umbrellas. I didn't see any money for any of it.
Oh.
So.
What was
everybody?
What's been the thing that surprised you the most, that either you saw in the stores or just somebody's brought up to the table that's officially licensed merchandise? So like, they made this? Okay, here you go.
I remember the Gurr perfume smelled like it was supposed to smell like candy. It just smelled like gasoline to me. So that was nice. I thought that was a nice touch.
There's something poetic about that, yeah.
There's so many. I guess Gurr candles. I don't know why you need a Gurr candle. For those intimate Gurr nights. I don't know. Instead of getting Gurr candles by the bath, dropping a bath bomb and set up your Gurr candles.
I thought we'd spend the night in. Hope you like animation candles.
Just screaming in the tub alone.
How about you, Richard? What's something that was officially licensed and put out that might have caught you by surprise?
This, I'll show you. I have one.
Of course he does.
It's this is just, it's just weird. It's just weird.
Oh yeah, those.
I am
They were like
quite
creepy or
sure.
something.
I'm not quite sure what happened to Zim here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's
fell in a volcano.
Yeah. Do you understand, Ricky? Do you
It
know
was
what was
burned to a crisp.
He was burned to a crisp, and I
Maybe
don't get
he's dead.
Oh.
That's dead Zim. That's burned to a crisp. Dead Zim fell into a volcano, just like Anakin Skywalker.
correct. That's exactly what I thought. Ah! Ah!
Oh no!
I broke everything.
This is a cool thing. Where'd this go?
I'm right here. Okay. There.
All right.
This is pretty cool. This is I wrote a story in this Invader Zim comic,
Mm-hmm.
and what's cool about this edition, it's got a little window, so you can see characters
Oh,
in the window.
that's adorable.
Yeah, this is the deluxe volume 4, I think, of the comic. I wrote a story in this one.
Yeah.
I like the little window on that. I just dropped it off.
I apologize for these questions, gentlemen. I'm destroying your domiciles.
Like I found my Adventure Time medal.
All right, so that's the license stuff. What's something memorable that someone presented to you that they either drew or designed or built themselves, like a custom figure, or hey, I made this drawing.
That's Tavisha, because Tavisha, Ricky's better half, collects all of my stuff.
Yes,
all my
he
drawings
gives me, most of his stuff, and
for a museum. For a museum.
and Tavisha puts them in a spot here.
Yeah.
In a tiny apartment that's much smaller than Richard's spacious home.
Ricky and I have gotten homemade smoked salmon.
Yeah. Oh, the smoked salmon. Yeah, somebody gave us smoked salmon at a convention, and I immediately hid it in Richard's suitcase, and then he hid it in mine, and then I hid it in his, and that went back and forth a while. We were calling it
smoked salmon.
Slipping the salmon. It was called Slipping the salmon.
Yeah.
I signed a banana for someone once.
You signed a banana?
I signed a banana, and they paid for it. So I'm not really sure how well that one went for them. Maybe they had it laminated. I'm hoping they have it laminated.
Even then, I'm not sure it'll work. Wow.
I hope they dip it in chocolate and freeze it.
I've signed feet. Someone wanted their foot tattooed, so I signed their foot.
But you don't sign people's body parts anymore.
Well, not in the last year and a half.
Okay. Well,
It's been a year, not a year and a half.
Ricky once said to a fan, "I will not sign your arm because they want to tattoo it." There,
Sure. Yeah, the autograph. Yeah.
I just told them don't get serial killed because then they'll think I signed my work.
Always thinking. Ricky's always thinking.
That actually leads me to something else too. Was there any memorable tattoo reveals that fans, when they come up, when they take the shirt off, like, hey, what do you think of that? Huh? Yeah,
It wasn't a tattoo as much as it was body modification. This guy had carved Zim on the inside of his lip.
Yeah, he came up to me and goes, "Hey, I got to show you something." I'm like, "What?"
I'm like, please don't.
He pulls his lip down and it said Zim on the inside of his lip right here. I was like, "Oh, Ricky!" That's what I always say.
Mom!
I'm calling for I Love Lucy. Ricky! Because I don't know what to do. Sometimes I just need to call out for Ricky. Right, Ricky?
I know. I can hear it all the way from here.
That's right.
We're 20 miles away from each other.
Richard, you got some explaining to do.
Ricky!
And the main thing is and we're not making fun of anybody here. It's this is a testament to what you guys helped to create and how much it lasts. And I've always said, hey, modification, art, whatever it is, it's an expression of fandom, and I think it's all really beautiful thing.
Sure, what you said, yeah.
Yeah. but with
this.
But don't blame you guys for not taking food.
Yeah.
When at our physical shows, when I'm in the audience with the microphone, it's like, oh, I got some of my homemade hot sauce. Can I give it to you? And I'll give it to him later. And I'm like, hey, I'm giving that bottle to you. What you do with it?
It's just when they make their homemade hot sauce on the spot that you don't really want. You don't want that.
What you got there? He's playing with the fuzzy bunnies.
It just fell off my shelf. So yeah. This is a good show. I don't know what it's called. It's from Japan.
It's from Japan. So, well, I'll tell you what.
Go ahead. No, I said I think we covered it in the last time, but you remember what was revealed last time? My psychic abilities of the show that I created in 1974.
You created a show in 1974 psychically? Clairvoyantly? Like you projected in the future?
How do you remember what it was?
Friends.
No.
No.
I remember us having this converation. I remember you going to give us the reveal.
Let me guess. It's
he's got the picture.
Look, in 1974, I was how old in 74?
You are.
I was 8 years old, and I had to do a class assignment where we all had to write a story, and we had to practice writing neatly between the lines, and we all had to create an original story. And I did create an original story.
It was Everybody Poops.
28th, 1974. Mr. Sponge.
Oh, geez, boy, did you miss a whole lot of money.
There was a sponge that could walk and talk, and all the kids loved him.
You blew it.
I blew it.
Did you share that with anyone?
Someone named
Were you in the same grade school?
Yeah, no, I didn't care. But you could tell I was onto something. I was very psychic.
Were you in the same grade school as Tom Kenny? Is that what happened?
No, it wasn't Tom. And I just kept walking around going like this to Tom all day long.
Yeah.
First time I met Tom, I got to say something funny to him. I was like, Tom Kenny, yes, I've been inside you. And he's like, what? And he goes like, no, Universal Studios. I tested out the first SpongeBob outfit. Yeah. It was the first one they did with the little, it had straight plastic arms like it does. So you're inside and you're with these little wheels and like moving them up and right. So it's like,
Wait, so they had wheels inside the costume?
Had the little cranks inside the costume of the box. Yes. So I could do the arms whole 180 if I wanted to because they were on an axis.
So did you get to walk around in it?
Yeah, I walked around and tested it out once, and then they just they put it away. Then they went to like the character former regular arms.
Very skinny legs.
Was that? I had my normal legs in the outfit.
I would love it if you had like thick legs and just walk around with SpongeBob.
And he's just absorbing water everywhere he goes. He's just back in the costume behind him.
All right, let's take some questions before Universal comes after me. All right, what's our first question here? From Anonymous, if you could conquer a planet, which one would you choose?
Mars, there's nobody there.
Is that what you think, Rikki?
Actually, any planet. In the solar system, you could take any of them. There's nobody on any of them.
I would conquer Babylon 5.
You were on an episode of that.
I was.
You were Schmanky number 5.
Schmanky number 5. Schmooky number 5.
Oh.
I would conquer anywhere that had an In-N-Out burger. Any planet that has it. All right, I take it back. A Wendy's. Because I like the Wendy's Baconators.
Yeah, right. Okay.
There you go. There you go. I go to any planet that had Five Guys. So there you go.
I'm the only Southern California native that doesn't like In-N-Out.
I don't like In-N-Out. I like Wendy's. Wendy's Baconator. Best double bacon cheeseburger ever. The end.
When I go to LA, I always go to run to Tommy Burgers as often as I can.
That was not so bad. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, I haven't had in forever. Inside this apartment, I haven't left 360 square feet. I haven't left
We'll get there, my friend. We'll get there.
Be dead soon.
And Anonymous, thank you. Fun question to start us off with. Hey, what do we have next? From Wrinkle.ly. What was your favorite unfinished episode?
Mine?
The one that Rikki was writing.
Yeah. That would have been good. You would have been awesome in it, Richard. It was called Squishy Hugger of Worlds.
Squishy Hugger of Worlds.
Yep. You were going to save the Earth belligerently in it to stop another alien species from destroying it before you could.
Right.
Yeah.
Smart. Very smart. That's our answer, and we're sticking to it.
Fair. All right. Thank you, Wrigley. What is next? From Marissa, did either of you have any specific influences of references in mind when you created these voices?
Jonan said that he heard something in my voice, and so I tried originally to do voices, and he was just like, no, bring it back down to you. So I guess Gur's just me doing my thing. So I don't know.
Well, not for Zim in particular, because I know that Jonan said that he wanted people's voices who were naturally bizarre, which is how I felt about my voice. And so Zim was just my voice for the most part, and then pitched. And then as we went on further into the series, it got less and less pitched. But what I do know is that, like, when I did Angry Beavers, my first thought was Lou Costello from Abbott and Costello was Daggett. You listen to me, Norbert, which eventually sounded like Tyne Daly from Cagney and Lacey. You listen to me, Christine. I am a New York City cop, which sounds like Megan Lane. Hakuna Matata, which eventually became Jack Lemmon, which eventually became Hey Now Wild Bob Hope. So the answer is yes, I'm always
Then you became Ruth Buzzy.
And then I became Ruth Buzzy and Joanne Worley in one. Joanne Buzzy. Ruth Worley. These are all people that no one remembers in our audience.
She's on Twitter, Richard. You should follow her.
How do I follow her? Where does she live?
She's on Twitter.
What's that?
It's the big bird on it. She wrote the other day that people ask her how long it takes her to, or how much she spends on a bottle of wine. She says, I don't know, a half hour.
My housemates were just watching her episode of the Muppet Show the other day.
Oh, you should watch the what was that show she did? Far Out Space Nuts. She was a robot in a costume. With,
she was on Lost Saucer.
Oh, Lost Saucer. That's right.
Thank you.
Bob.
We're all living in a lost saucer.
Jim Neighbors.
It was Jim Neighbors. That's right. He was the other robot.
Oh God, we're old.
Bob Denver Gilligan was on Far Out Space Nuts with Chuck McCann.
I feel like I'm going to just turn to dust any second.
Hey, Marissa, thank you. Fun question. Anytime I can talk about Space Nuts, I'm good. What do we have next?
You follow Sid Croft on Instagram?
No,
I didn't know he had one.
Right.
Oh my God,
it's amazing. He puts up stories and old footage like Wonderbug. Here's my favorite.
Wonderbug.
Patty named the show. In the middle of a summer, in the middle of a park, there began a great adventure for a boy whose name was Mark. He had come to see the Magic Man along with all the children, and so began the day that Mark was never to forget.
Yeah, Lidsville.
Yep.
Lidsville. I spoke to Butch Patrick. I got to speak to Butch.
If you have YouTube, just type it in.
Yeah, I got to speak to Butch Patrick, and
you'll know how depressing our childhoods were.
he said he loved his time at Lidsville, but he said Charles Nelson Riley loved me. No, really, he really loved me.
This is an interesting.
Let's just talk about Charles Nelson Riley.
Yeah, I know. And anyways, what happened to the episode Babies? It wasn't on the DVD I bought years ago.
It was called Plague of Babies.
Yeah.
And it is one of my favorite episodes. Hello, Nookums.
It wasn't on the DVD?
I can't believe it wasn't on the DVD. I thought it was
you
on.
didn't look hard enough. It's on there.
Yeah.
Which DVD was it? If it's the one that has all of our commentary, it's definitely on that one. But if they release some other DVD and didn't put on it, then you should throw that DVD into the sun.
Yeah, all right. That's
because the girl says, "I'm gonna play with the babies" in that.
I was watching Enter the Florpus again the other day, and you're very funny in that, Rikki.
You know what? I thought you were pretty good too.
Yeah, you were very funny. I liked it. I liked our little interchange. It's like, no, that wasn't me. That was Gur. I ate a baby. He
I
did.
ate a baby there.
He did. My favorite moments.
Well, thank you, Anonymous. Hopefully, you'll be able to find that episode. We'll keep our fingers crossed. What do we have next?
It's now on Paramount Plus, I hear.
Okay, well, there you go.
That, right?
From Casey, what was it? What was it like? What was it like voice acting now versus when you started?
Oh, Richard should answer this.
Well, when I started, we used to talk into giant megaphones, and we would hopefully catch it off of a mountainside, and then they would be able, the sound waves would bounce, and all you heard was, "Mary had a little lamb which beats as white as snow."
And everything was in black and white for some reason.
Yeah, everything was.
Color wasn't invented until 1975.
No, color was never invented. Well, I'll tell you how it's different. When we used to record, when I first started, we recorded on tape. And so if you messed up, it was kind of a big deal because that's an edit. That's an actual sliced edit that they had to do. So you didn't want to mess up. Whereas when we record now, we can screw around. It doesn't matter because it's all digitized. So that makes it a lot easier and more fun to feel like if you screw up, you don't feel horrible. When we first started, we were all together all the time in the booth. But now because there's so many platforms between streaming and cable and network and blah, 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 we all have like different schedules. And so we're not all together at the same time most of the time anymore. That's how
auditions are definitely easier than they used to be. Before you'd have to drive halfway across town just to find out you don't get a part. Now you can sit in the safety of your home and send an MP3 to your agent, which has its own disadvantages too, because now you can't really get to know the casting directors and stuff up close like you used to, and have them hate you in person instead of from not even get that chance to learn to hate you.
Sometimes I feel so bad for Rikki. Sometimes I'll just call him up randomly and go, "I hate you," and hang up.
And I'm like, aw. It's like I'm in a biz.
I hate you.
Casey, thank you. It was a fun one. And this comes from Elena. If you could start up the series again,
yes.
Would you?
Yes. We had hoped that Eliana, we had hoped that would be the case after Enter the Florpus, but a pandemic hit, and the people who loved our show at Nickelodeon when we did the movie, most of those people that loved it are not at Nickelodeon anymore. Isn't that right, Rikki?
Yes, they evolved into another form of life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what the show does to you. You work on it, and then suddenly you feel like this Pokemon style build up, and then you're a new creature, and then you move on. It's kind of weird.
But I do know
pages to us.
But I do know that if they did reboot it, and people hate the term reboot, and we hated the term reboot for Enter the Florpus because it was not a reboot. It was just as
continuation.
It was just a giant episode of Invader Zim. That's how I'd want to do it. As much as I love the Rugrats, I'm not very happy with the CGI that they're doing in the new Rugrats. I really like Rugrats a lot, and I think that the animation, the old animation, really added to the story. Where now you're just seeing kind of the CGI thing, and I'm not crazy about that, but I'll give it a shot. I can't wait to see it. But
people always hate their new favorite thing before they see it. Whenever anything is announced, whether it's a continuation or a reboot or whatever, they seethe with hatred if something existed before and now more of it is coming, and then they see it and they're like, now it's their new favorite thing. So they always hate the thing before they see it, and then it becomes
I hate it and I still hate it and I haven't seen it. There, Rikki.
But you're special though. You're different.
Spoken like a fan.
You're like a little hate angel.
Angel?
An angel of hate.
Better? Worse? or better?
The devil. Just the devil.
The devil in disguise.
You're like Robert De Niro in Angel Heart.
I'm an imp, Rikki. I'm an imp.
Oh.
Eliana, thank you. Fun one. What do we have next? Ivy. Oh, what's your favorite interaction with one another while working on the show?
I remember that one time Rikki punched me in the neck, and then I punched him in the neck.
Your head exploded?
Yeah, my head exploded. That was a fun one.
Took a while to find your eyes.
Yeah.
I think my favorite interaction was just actually just being there in person. You know,
Yeah.
interacting with people.
Yeah, my favorite interactions always happened with Rikki because Rikki, although I do like that Plague of Babies episode. I did like
that's a good one.
Zim's interaction with Nuggums is fun.
They combine into one giant baby.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Michael Richardson played Nuggums. I'm not sure, but maybe.
Oh yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rikki, Zim was always mean to everyone, but he would yell at Gurr. But you could tell that Gurr was his trusty sidekick. No, Gurr, it's not time for the pizza idea. And then I'm gonna roll around and pizzas. No, Gurr.
It's like dog is trying to train, but just can't seem to do it.
Yeah. He was like his pet. No, Gurr.
Yeah.
Ivy, thank you. Fun one. What do we have next? It comes from M. If you could do a cameo in another show, what would you like? And I'm gonna interpret this as your Zim characters.
Oh.
Beavis and Butthead. It's my favorite show. Beavis and Butthead.
You're showing up in Law and Order.
Hey! Dun-dun-dun! What is that? Why do they keep doing that music, Stinger?
Wah, wah, wah.
Now, for me, I love Beavis and Butthead. It's like my all-time favorite animated show. I just loved it.
What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows. But it's animated. Didn't she ask animated?
No, she just said show.
Okay, there you go.
Oh.
So yeah, you're good.
Then it would be Get Smart.
A new show.
As a grandpa.
Grandpa.
You watch new shows. What new show would you want to cameo?
I love WandaVision. I really love WandaVision.
Okay, I'm going to watch that next.
I'm
going to watch Black Panther next.
I will tell you my new favorite show. It's not new. It's got multiple seasons and it's so good. Is Kim's Convenience. Have you seen Kim's Convenience on Netflix? I am so in love with this show. It's a Korean family that owns a convenience store, and the father and the mother are so funny. It's a great show. It's got that. It's only like 22-minute episodes, so that same feeling you kind of get from like Schitt's Creek is the same way you kind of feel like this. You get to know this family. The plot lines are never that involved that you can come in at any time and you'll still love the show. It's called Kim's Convenience on Netflix.
I know what I want to cameo.
Right.
Pretend it's a city. Just behind Fran, girl sort of pops up every once in a while. Just irritate her. Just
yeah, I was thinking about that. Did you ever see the one where she goes, "You think he's got it bad? You think your brother's bad?" You always people like, "Oh, my brother does this." Could you imagine being John Wilkes Booth's brother? Your brother's bad. My brother is John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah, Gersh should appear in that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. If you haven't seen it, Martin Scorsese directed it.
My hair's doing something weird.
Your name is Mud. No, the guy next to you, his name is really Mud. I would have.
My hair's alive.
Thank you, Em. For some reason, I'd love to see your Invader Zim guys pop up on F is for Family.
Rikki will always know when I'm watching a new show because in the middle of an episode, I will call him because I'll know Rikki has watched this show. And I'll be like, I don't understand this. Why? And I'll just rant about why.
That was just the Mandalorian. You just kept calling.
I just kept ranting about the Mandalorian. I'm like, I don't understand why he doesn't take off his mask. It's That's really frustrating.
Because he's ugly. No, he's not ugly.
well, the first time we saw it, he got that crap kicked out of him. It was all like,
He's a handsome man.
My favorite thing to do.
Hell, he's a handsome man who doesn't have an eyeball on his chin. What?
Rikki and I grew up in California watching something called Huell Hauser's Gold Coast, right? Gold.
California Gold. California Gold.
And so he's this guy that talks like this, and he'll go to all these obscure places in California, and he'll interview people, and he's very charming, but he asks the most inane questions.
Isn't that nice?
Now, what is this over here? It says door. What does that do?
That's a door, sir. That's a door.
Right. So, Rikki,
wow, that's something. A door.
Rikki has one of my favorite exchanges when they look at seagulls. Tell them the seagulls.
There's an episode of Huell Hauser as he's interviewing a oceanographer or something, and there's
I'll be the oceanographer. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's some seagulls walking around, and he says, "Now, the seagulls, they're like pigeons that can fly."
Yes, they're like pigeons that can fly. I said, so I'll watch like old episodes because he's passed away, but I'll take my camera and I will record something and then I'll send it to Rikki. And my favorite one is that he's talking to this man and this woman. It was with their kids behind. The kid's like this, and the woman's like speaking to the kid, and the kid just falls on his head in the background. It's like, ah! And he just goes, "No, what's going on?" It's like in the background, this kid is just being knocked over.
Yeah, we would definitely intermingle Zim with Huell Hauser.
Yes, we could. We definitely could. That would be fun.
And where are you from?
Yes, that's wild.
Planet Earth? That's crazy.
So, what was it like back then when people would dance? Kind of like today, Huell. So they'd hold each other while they dance? Yeah, very much, Huell. That is amazing. I just love the stupid inane questions. It's like, I love it so much.
Oh, God. M, thank you. That took us down some interesting roads. What's next?
Question.
From Anonymous. Can you do an impression of each other?
Yeah, go, Richard.
Okay, it's my impression of Rikki.
All right.
Hi, I'm Rikki.
Yeah, here's my Richard.
Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom.
Here's my real impression of Richard. Why?
Here's my impression of Rikki.
Oh, yeah, that's accurate.
Why is his head so big?
Here's my other impression of Richard. Are you awake? Did I wake you up?
Because we share a bed. That's the reason.
He's like shoving me. Are you awake?
I do. I text Rikki. Rikki and I are polar opposites. He stays up till like 4 in the morning.
5.
And 5 in the morning. Then sleeps. And I'm up at like 6 a.m. every morning texting Rikki. You awake? I have something I need an answer to, and you're the only one who can answer it. Rikki?
Calls at 9 a.m. Why did the Mandalorian blah, blah, blah? Did I wake you?
I often don't even say hello. I have to go, okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Is Batman a vigilante or a superhero? Because you don't want to get into this conversation now.
Yeah. Everybody should have a friend like that. I have a buddy that will just call up and like, so
yes.
yeah, it's like, so why division? Why is he all white now? You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good question. Don't tell Rikki. But that's because that's the new. The question one is which one was the real one? Although I have to say, Catherine Hahn was damn good in that series.
Everybody was really spectacular in that series. That was just a great effort.
Yes,
absolutely. And Anonymous, thank you very much. I think we got time for one more, so let's see if we can roll out on a fun one. And this comes from Anonymous. Any plans for the 20th anniversary of Invader Zim that you may be permitted to share?
Is that now?
Yeah, in March. It's our 20th anniversary.
Oh. I'll probably have a sandwich.
I'll probably make some bacon.
Yeah. Might,
there's talk of some sort of live stream thing, but we don't have any details on it yet. Would you try bacon soap? Does Anonymous want to know if we would eat it or use it to shower with?
I mean, you could probably just shower with it because, soap is made from fat anyways.
So you could eat both.
True.
Yeah.
So at 28th...
I used to eat crayons.
So maybe a live streaming event. Wow, if only there was a company that had a live streaming platform with a built-in audience that you guys could do it on. I just bet
it would have to be one where Invader Zim had been on multiple times.
But what they want to know is, can anybody peel Jonan away from his house and put him in front of a camera for 30 minutes?
And his Oculus.
From his Oculus. Can they pry the Oculus off of his face with a crowbar for 30 minutes?
You won't pry this Oculus from my dead cold eye.
Entirely a virtual human being now. Yeah. He's like Lawnmower Man. Look up that movie.
I remember the short story by Stephen King and being very confused at the movie. It's like, this is
Jordan is just a giant 1995 3D face, from MTV, just sort of floating in
That's
the.
That's Jonah now.
Yeah, that's him now. Yeah, Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, he's become a real life Max Headroom.
Uh-huh.
Another one's well, Anonymous, thank you for that. Well, stay tuned as far as 20th anniversary.
How come they're anonymous, Patty? How come they're anonymous?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I do not know. We can ask our tech people backstage, because GalaxyCon viewers, this has been my time with the cast of Invader Zim. But gentlemen, any final words for our audience before we go?
Yes, onomatopoeia.
Oh, Blitzkrieg. Oh,
Bop. Yes, please like and subscribe to some kind of joke on YouTube. Some kind of joke, and you can watch Hell of a Boss on YouTube, and you can like and subscribe some kind of joke on YouTube, or follow us on some kind of joke on Instagram.
And real quick, for our audience that doesn't know, walk us through some kind of joke real quick.
So some kind of joke features my friend Dean Cameron and I, who starred in the movie. We were both in summer school back in 1987. And it's basically, we play two brothers, Michael and Fredo, who visit via Zoom every day. And we do a narrative on classic jokes. And so the hard part is to tell what joke is coming up, and how we deliver it is part of the narrative fun of it.
Indeed.
And if you go to my Twitter, Rikki Simons' Twitter, it has links to all my stuff. Currently, I've been doing a D&D game with my good friend Eric Trueheart, who's a writer on Invader Zim, called One Man Murder Maze. We've got 6 plus 13 is 19 episodes that we finished. Each one's about an hour. And you can watch me throw, as Dungeon Master, Eric Trueheart into a maze all by himself. And all sorts of crazy stuff happens.
How many?
A one character dungeon crawl?
One person dungeon crawl, yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's only one person.
Yeah. He has a lot of special things he's found along the way that's helped him, including a bag full of tractors. Yeah.
What about grapes? Does he ever find grapes?
I'm sure that his character's name is Horkhauser.
So a grape collector?
Yeah, probably grape. I'm sure he's had some grapes. He just rescued a 200-foot tall cow from walking into a volcano. So,
how did he rescue it? What did he use?
Well, it has a dairy on its back, and so he had to break into the dairy and steer the cow away from its demise.
Did he milk it first?
There's a milk factory. There's like a factory on the cow's back full of milk. So there was an explosion and there was some blood and milk.
So it's on the cow's back, not
Yes, tubes that go from the udders onto the back, and there's like a town. There's like a fortress on the cow's back, and he had to climb up the top of the cow, get into the fortress, and get into the control center and make the cow go the right direction.
Wow.
I hear you cat meowing, Rikki.
That's my cat. My apologies.
That was called the Great Cow Chase.
I like it.
If you put it in a module, I would have bought it back in my D&D days.
Well, thanks.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, as always, been an absolute pleasure. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you to our audience for joining us. Thank you for the great questions for all you anonymous people out there. We'll see you next time. Thank you and as always, take care. Bye-bye. And please keep washing those hands.